ракета сама распознает, по принципу пустил, забыл. Ну и одна из лучших разработок нашего ПК – это ракета Давайте пошли.
Russian President Vladimir Putin visited the base in the Tver region, housing the 344th State Center for combat use and retraining of flight personnel on Wednesday. During his visit, Putin met with officers and inspected new helicopter systems and missiles. Among the showcase weaponry was the X-39 missile, a versatile projectile. Following the examination of cutting-edge Russian defense equipment, Putin engaged with military pilots undergoing training at the center. However, what initially seemed like a routine visit grabbed global attention when Putin made assertive remarks regarding potential NATO attacks and the repercussions of European countries deploying F-16 aircraft to support Ukraine in its conflict with Russia. Addressing the military pilots in training, Putin vehemently dismissed the notion of Russia launching an assault on NATO. He labeled such claims as nonsense and baseless fear-mongering aimed at extracting funds from their populace. Putin further emphasized that Russia's current military actions aim solely to safeguard its citizens residing in historically significant territories. Here's an excerpt from his statement.
In 2022, the United States spent, God willing, $811 billion, and the Russian Federation, $72 billion. 72 and 811. The difference is noticeable, more than 10 times. The United States spends, its defense spending is approximately 40% of global defense spending. 39% of global spending is the United States. And Russia, 3.5%. And with this ratio in mind, are we going to fight with NATO or something? This is just nonsense. Besides, what are we doing now during a special military operation? We protect our people living in our historical territories. If after the collapse of the Soviet Union, as Russia proposed, they'd have built completely new security relations in Europe, nothing like today would have happened. We would simply take into account our interests in the field of security, which we talked about year after year, in fact, from decade to decade. Just complete ignorance. We came right to our borders. Were we moving towards the borders of those countries that were part of the NATO bloc? We didn't touch anyone. They were moving towards us. Have we crossed the ocean to the borders of the United States? No, they are approaching us and have come close. What are we doing? We only protect our people in our historical territories. Therefore, what they say about the fact that we are going to attack Europe after Ukraine is complete nonsense. They are intimidating their own population solely in order to extort money from them, from one's people. Moreover, given the fact that the economy is shrinking and the standard of living is falling, it's obviously simple.
In response to questions from pilots regarding potential F-16 deployment by Western nations to aid Ukraine, Putin issued a stark warning, asserting, "We will destroy them." He reiterated that should Ukrainian-operated jets operate from foreign airfields, they would be considered legitimate targets for Russian forces. Putin underscored that if F-16As were to reach Ukraine, Russia would neutralize them, as it has done with other Western equipment thus far, including multiple launch rocket systems.
Firstly, if they deliver the S-16, they talk about it, like they are training pilots. I think you understand this better than anyone else. Better than anyone else. This will not change the situation on the battlefield. And we will destroy their planes just as we destroy their tanks, armored vehicles, and other equipment today, including multiple launch rocket systems. Of course, if they are used from airfields of third countries, they become a legitimate target for us, no matter where they are. And the S-16s are also carriers of nuclear weapons, and we will also have to take this into account when organizing combat work.
Notably, despite pledges from several NATO members to donate F-16s to Kiev and train Ukrainian pilots, no deliveries have occurred to date. Russia has consistently cautioned against introducing nuclear-capable aircraft into the conflict, deeming it an unacceptable escalation.